Welcome all, Boone here from EWPRO. So looking at the DXY on the daily, it's pretty much completed what we were looking for. We were looking for this wave C to come down and break that wave A. That's pretty much done that now. So now we have 1, 2, 3 down. So now we can start to look for buys. There may be still a little bit more downside down to the 100 fib. And of course, if it turns motive, we'll see price come down to that 161.8. H4, we were looking for this correction in here and another one down. We got that. On the H1, we're starting to get bullish divergence overall. Starting to get a lot of bullish divergence. So really, I'm not interested in sells down here. I'm only really looking for buys. And at this stage, there is no buys. For a buy setup, I'd be looking for nice impulse up, a correction, and then I can look to buy for at least a C up. AU on the daily. We had that like 1, 2, 3 down in here. So we're looking for that A, B, C up to this 100 fib, or possibly up to that 161.8 if it gets motive, if it goes motive. Had a bull hidden in here to go and break the top. It's done that. We're actually losing the bearish divergence here, so you could go down onto the lower time frames and look for a correction. You'd have to wait for a correction before you could join in, and really when you're up here, it's just a scalp pretty much, and you see how far it goes. But you got to wait for that correction. GU on the daily, we've passed that 100 fib. We're looking for that A, B, C up to that 100 fib. On the lower time frame, we got that bull hidden to go and break this top. If I just go down to the H4, we were looking for this to go and break that top, and it's done that. With this bull hidden here, got that bull hidden to go and break that top. It's done that, and it's kept on going. So again, the only real way you pretty much have to wait for a H4 correction before you can look to buy again. You don't want to be buying up here. It's pretty dangerous. And even on the H1, you need a correction. You got to get a correction on at least a H1, ideally on a H4 correction before you start to look for buys again. EU pretty much following the arrows. If I just take this off, it's gone up to the 161.8 by the look of it. So we're looking for that A, B, C up to that 100 fib. It's just about got there now. It was quite slow in here. It's more of an extended wave. It's more about like 1, 2, 3. You get a wave 4, and we get a wave 5 up in here, more than likely to finish off this B wave. And then I'd be looking for this C down, or this C down here. H4, pretty much what I just said then. We're waiting for a wave 3. Sorry, a wave 4. So we got a 1, 2, 3. You wait for that wave 4, and then you can buy for that wave 5. So again, you're pretty much waiting for a correction. This still has a little bit to go. This still can get up to, this 161.8, or maybe even the 200 fib. This wave 3 here. But safest way now is to wait for that wave 4, and then you trade that wave 5 up. H1, we're getting all this bearish divergence. So again, I wouldn't really be. I mean, if you are buying up here, you're scalping on the lower time frames and just scalping buys. I'd be more interested into sell into the correction into that wave 4 while we're up here. Yeah, that's dangerous selling into corrections too. You want to be experienced trader to do that. And we got the 3 down in here, like I've mentioned. We got that 1, 2, 3 down in here. We're looking for that A, B, C up to that 100 pip. Not sure if that. So yeah, H4, we're in a wave 3. So we're in a wave 3. You look to buy, you wait for this wave 4, and then you buy that wave 5 up. We've breached 100 fib here, and I wouldn't be surprised if we get up to that 161.8. But again, no, we don't. We aren't getting divergence here on the H1. So on the lower time frames, you could look for a correction and buy. You'd want a nice correction first, and then you could look to scalp the buy. Just to end that wave 3 on the H4. GY on the daily, we're looking for sells, but again, you have to be careful because there is this possible bull hidden here. So like I've mentioned last few weeks, we'll either get a very deep correction here, or we get a correction and it goes and breaks that top and the bull hidden plays out. So I am looking for a sell on the lower time frames for at least an A, B, C. If this goes up and breaks the top and that bull hidden plays out, well, more than likely we'll get a running or expanding flat then, like an A, a B, and a C as running or expanding flat, and then more upside. So I'm looking at this sort of structure, but I am looking at this as a B wave. At this stage, I'd be looking for something like an A, B, C in here, some sort of a flat, and then you get an A, B, C. Or it may turn motive, like I mentioned, and go and break the top. But at this stage, I'd be waiting for this C down in here and then a buy set up to buy into this wave C. And if it does go and break the top, all good. You're on the right side of the trade. But you have to wait for this. You have to wait for this A, B, C in here on the lower time frames before you start to look for that buy. It's not ready yet. You know, we need this at this stage. We need this to go and break that low, because that's the top there, and we'd be looking at it as a regular flat at this stage. If this does give another one up in here and break that top, well, then we can get that running or expanding flat. But yeah, at this stage, I'd be looking for a regular flat. Oh, has that broken the top? Oh, it may have actually already broken the top. So it may. Yeah, it looks like it actually has. So yeah, I'd be looking for a running flat here, or maybe an expanding flat, and then a buy set up, for that C up, at least a C up. UY, looking for a correction here. The thing is now, this can be complete though. Like ever since we got this wave down here, I've been looking at all this as that B wave. So I'm still looking at it that way, and we get an A, B, and we get this C down. We really just got to see on the lower time frames if this wave in here is over, and then we can start to buy, because this may be a large flat here for more upside. So really going down onto the lower time frames to see what's going on here. I dare say it'll play out similar to GY, and we get, like, we're getting an A, we're getting a B in here. You can buy for a C up, but then you be looking for a sell again. It would pay to, take this. If you do get a buy set up in here, if I just go down to the H1, as you can see, I am looking for this to go and break the low in here. We had that bear hidden. We've got that bear hidden there. So, yeah, we're looking for that to break the low. But either way, once this is over in here, if you trade this pair, it wouldn't pay. It would pay to take this, because it may go from here and break the top on the daily from here. Whenever this is ready, we sort of got a flat in here, like an A, B, C in here, the flat, and we're getting an A, B, C in here. Whether it goes and breaks that low or not, we don't know at this stage. If price does come down and break that low, well, more than likely we'll get a flat in here, and you get the A, B, C, and then you get more downside A, B, C. But if this C in here doesn't go and break the low, well, then there is a chance that it does go up and break the top on the daily. Yeah, that's what I say. If you do get the buy set up, it'll be worth, maybe worth you taking it and giving it a go, because there may be quite a few pips in it. Because, like I mentioned on the daily, if this is complete, if this is the end of the wave C here, and we've got that A, B, C, well, then we go up and break the top. UCAD, we're looking for sells. We're in a very large correction here. Like I've mentioned, we got that 1, 2, 3, 4, and we didn't get that fifth one up. It never went and broke any point of that wave white. Instead, we're in this large correction. On the lower time frames, it did play out for us. We did get those 5 up. We got that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up. We were looking for this, and now it's come straight back down, and it's more of a sell now. We're waiting for a correction in here for a sell, possibly up to the 50 fib. That 50 fib isn't correct at the moment. I hadn't adjusted it, but you can see what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a correction back to that 50 fib. You really have to wait for that. You have to wait for this correction, and then you look for the sell. Until you get this, I'd be staying out of it. But this will more than likely be a nice sell once we get that correction. The Swissy, this has become very deep. Ever since we got this nice impulse up in here, I've just been looking for a correction and then a C up. This B wave has become very deep to this impulse here. So wherever this ends, I'll be looking for the buys for at least the A, B, C. Again, if price comes down and breaks the starting point of wave A, will more than likely be a running flat, some sort of a running flat in here before we get downside. Or at this stage, it'll just be a regular flat, an A, B, C at this stage. Now, we are looking for this to break the low again. Like I've mentioned last week, we got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down. We lost all that bullish divergence. We got a bear hidden in here, and it's coming down and breaking low. It's doing exactly what we were looking for last week, basically. Well, it hasn't completed it. It hadn't actually gone and broken the low yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if that's what happens. Once this does go and break that low, well, then, we want to start to look for the buy for that C up. Yeah, that's pretty much what I'll be doing. I'll be going, once this low here is broken, I'll go down to the lower time frames and I'll look for that first buy opportunity to hopefully get into that wave C up. on the daily. We're only looking for buys on the EG, as I've mentioned. We got all this bullish divergence in here. We got a nice impulse up, and we're getting a correction. We're really just waiting to see how far this goes. Waiting to see how far this correction goes. If it goes down and breaks that low, well, more than likely, like I've been mentioning on a lot of the other pairs, it'll just be more than likely a running flat or an expanding flat, and then more downside. But if this low here holds, there is a chance that this turns motive. So it'd pay to even if this does break the low, I'd be still looking for the buy. I'm only looking for the buys on this. On the daily, we're at lows. So I was looking for on the H4 another one up in here, like 1, 2, 3, 4, and I was looking for a fifth one up here. It didn't go, and this was starting to become a larger correction than this, as I've pointed out. It's still going down. There is no, it's not giving a buy setup. There is no buy setup on it at this stage. But overall, on the H1, we are getting all this bullish divergence. So, any buy setup you get, definitely worth looking at. Excuse me. Yeah. You'd have to go right down onto the lower time frames. And on the lower time frames, it looks like you may be getting a buy set up there for like an A, B, C. You'd have to be careful because we may get a bear hidden there or something. But yeah, you really have to go down onto the lower time frames, and I really only do that in the group, where we look for trades and show the trade setups. WTI. I was thinking this would go from here, and because we had that 1, 2, 3 down, and I'm looking for that A, B, C up before we get that A, B, C. I haven't changed the count here yet. This is an old count. This like A, B, C. That never went and broke the low. I'll have to change that count, but I've been going over this every week, so you can see what's happening on the H4. We got the 5 down. That was fine. We got a nice impulse up. But this is quite sharp down here too. I'd still be looking for the A, B, C, and then possibly more downside. We don't have any bullish divergence here. So we may just get a larger correction and then another one down. But, any buy setup you get, you definitely can look for this buy for that wave C up. And that's what you're doing now. You pretty much, it's really on the lower time frames, but if you got a correction in here, you could look for a buy. It may not go and break the top because this here, technically, this is like some sort of a flat here. Like you get 1, 2, 3. This is the wave 4. We're getting a bear hidden here, and we can get another one down in here, breaking that low, and then we get that larger C up for that H4. So there, you have to be careful buying because this can come down and break that low before it goes. That's why really on the lower time frames you're looking for to see if it's, and we're even the M15 we're starting to get bearish divergence. So if you did get a nice impulse down, a correction, you could look for the sell to go and break the low. Even if you just got an A, B, C, and it didn't go and break the low, well, that should be enough to get you out of break even. Then you look for a buy, but like 1, 2, 3, which possibly could turn motive, like we're looking for on that H4, that C up. Gold, well, gold, we're still in that wave Z. It's just about got to the second target, that 161.8. So again, like I said last week, you're pretty much staying out of it now. It's completed its motive structure, or its impulse. H4, we got the 5 up too. So, here we were looking for that bull hidden to go up for that wave 5. That's exactly what it's done. I wouldn't be surprised if we get up to that 161.8, the second target. If you wanted to scalp it, you could. I mean, it's not something I'd do, but you know, you're getting a trend line break in here, so you got an impulse up. If you get a little correction, you'd just be scalping just to break that top, basically. Because I dare say once this top here gets broken, we're going to get bearish divergence, and then it can. If we get a nice impulse down and a sell setup, you definitely could look for the sell. And I'd be more interested in the sell up here than the buy. Silver, we're getting that wave Z up. Like I've mentioned with WXY, X2, and we get that wave Z up, first and second target, 123.6 and the 161.8 as a second target. This was your first opportunity to get in here. On the H4, it looks like on the lower time frames we're getting 5 up in here, so I'd be waiting for the H4 correction, or a larger correction than these over here, and then you could load up. And I'd be targeting those daily levels, that 161.8 and the 123.6 as the first and second target. If you're buying here, it's just scalp. We got 5 up here. I mean, in the group, we're looking for this. This fifth one up in here. We've got 1, 2, 3 down in the wave 4, and we're getting that wave 5 up. You'd really have to go, if you wanted to get into this now, you'd have to go down onto the lower time frames, and it's just scalping just to break that top, basically. And the 123.6 and the 161.8 are your H1 targets for this wave 5. Bitcoin, we never got that wave Z up, very similar to silver, but this is all correction in here. There was a buy in here. You can see I've got a line in there. There's more in the room. We're looking for this, looking for at least a C up. We got an A, we got this wave B, and we were looking for this wave C up. This may turn motive, may turn motive, but at the very minimum, I was looking for a C up, and that's already happened. So if you're not already in it, it's going to be hard to get in. And that's what I'll teach in my group, to get into that first trade. I show you how to get into the first opportunity, so you don't miss these moves. You pretty much have to stay out of it now, unless you're going right down onto the lower time frame scalping, because we already have bearish divergence here with this like 1, 2, 3 up. So yeah. S&P 500, we had that, like I've warned you guys about this, well, not warned yous, but I've been telling yous for weeks now, we have to be careful. We've got a bull hidden here, and it can go up and break the top, and that's exactly what it's done, basically, on the daily time frame. So you're pretty much staying, well, actually, it hadn't quite broken the top yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if this top here gets broken. At this stage, the only way you could, it hasn't broken this top yet. The only way you could really get in, you got to get a correction in here, and then you could look for it just to go and break that top. You have to wait for this correction. excuse me, unless you're already in it, there was trades and that on the lower time frames. There's plenty of opportunities on the lower time frames to get in this. I mean, I didn't expect it to, well, I was expecting it to either give us a deep correction to this or go up and break the top. Well, it looks like it's going to go up and break the top. And even on the H1, it's sort of got an ugly looking correction in here. We got look like 1, 2, 3. I'd be waiting for a wave 4, and then you could trade a wave 5 up on the H1. We already have a cross here on the MACD, so it's pretty dangerous. So overall, we got that A, B, C that was up to that 100 fib, like I've gone over. That was our target, that 100 fib for the upside, and that was hit quite a while ago. Now I'm looking for this one down in here. It doesn't look like it's ready though. Like the S&P, we're getting another one up. I've been waiting for a nice correction in here. We had that nice impulse down. I am still looking at this as a B wave. If it goes up and breaks that top, will more than likely be a running or expanding flat and more upside. If this B wave doesn't go and break that top, well, I'll be really interested in at least a C down, and it can turn motive. Like it can get 5 down for that. Like I showed that C down on the weekly. But yeah, this is very deep. More than likely, I wouldn't be surprised if it turns into a regular flat. And well, if this top doesn't get broken, well, I wouldn't be surprised if it just turns into a regular flat, just breaking that low, and then an A, B, C, and we get more upside. But yeah, we're getting all that bearish divergence here. So you can't buy it, and there is no sell setup. For the sell setup, we got all the bearish divergence. You want a nice impulse down, a correction, and then you can look for the sell. More than likely, you'll get 5 down in here, just breaking that low, and then more upside. Now the FTSE, we're looking for this time factor here. It looks like it's complete. It looks like it's complete with this, like 1, 2, 3. We've got a nice impulse up in here. I think I did mention this last week. You got to be careful because we have a bear hit. Is it a bear hidden? No, it's not. Must have been one of the other pairs, but yeah, it's more on the lower time frame to H1. We've got that like 1, 2, 3, 4. We're getting a very slow wave 5 up in here. I wouldn't be surprised if that does go and break the top though. This one here, it's very slow. It's looking like a B wave. This may be like get an A, B. Oh, sorry, an A, B, C in here. Similar size correction to this. Similar size correction of that. It is starting to become larger, but if we get a sharp impulse down, then a buy setup, well, you'd be looking at that 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 up. Lastly, the DAX is looking bullish on the daily. It's come straight back up. Like it fell over and it's come straight back up. And now we have a high here. So wait for a correction. And then you could look for a buy. I would be waiting for the correction, you know, especially up at these tops. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the weekly outlook. If you did, please hit the like button, share and subscribe. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you out there next week.